I'm always so excited when you drop by Media Champions because we have the best information and the best news to share with you. I'm Mary Therese in Atlanta, and boy, today we hit the jackpot. Jackpot. We have Tammy Drost on the program today. Tammy Drost with Drost Enterprises is here, and you are going to love this lady. We are so happy you're with us today on Media Champions, Tammy. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Auntie.
We want to know all about this 360 business approach that you have. Y'all are going to love her website, okay? But let's talk about this 360 business approach, because people have the idea of they got a story to tell, right? But man, when they come to you and you, it's just an explosion, and you're really educating people on how this process works.
Well, it's interesting because, I've worked for the corporate environment. I've been on the agency side, and I've also done work for nonprofits. And one of the commonalities over the course of 20 plus years is you see a lot of silos. And it doesn't matter how big the organization is or how small the organization is, you still see the silos and you see the lack of communication. And a prime example of that is when you're rebranding and maybe you're working with an agency or an external media company, and there's an in-house design team or a lot of internal stakeholders that have different needs. The agency might come up with all these great ideas and great concepts, but the reality is that the people who are on the ground and the people who are utilizing those templates and the tools and the new designs, they aren't working for their needs. And so there was, I noticed early on there was a lot of lack of communication going on. I also noticed that there was an inability to connect the dots to the big picture. A lot of times companies will go full speed ahead with rebranding, but they don't take into account how the brand connects with and supports the overall business strategy and business goals. And that's really critical, because if you're taking the time to develop a 3 to 5 year strategic plan, you have to figure out how does the brand support that? How is the brand aligned with that? You also have to take a look at how the marketing is going to support the branding. What channels are you going to be using? How are you going to be communicating it? How are you training your internal staff to be brand ambassadors? We talk a lot about, influencers and brand ambassadors, but what I found in my career is some of the best brand ambassadors are employees. People who work with the brand every day.
You bring up a really, really valid point there when you're talking about especially branding in a company or an organization. It's more than just that marketing and media team. I would submit that if you're on the payroll, you are a brand ambassador.
Absolutely.
And it seems to me that maybe some folks are that's something that's hard for them to understand, which is why they should partner with an agency and someone like yourself, because you have that subject matter expertise and you understand about placement, you understand about media buying, you understand about social media and what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Can you share with us maybe an aha moment with somebody that you've helped that said, oh, you know what? I listened to Tammy, and by golly, this happened. It was great. That has to be really gratifying to have somebody that says, wow, I'm glad we listened to you.
Well, a lot of the times when you're on the ground and you're developing the branding, you have an insider's viewpoint. You understand where a lot of the challenges lie. You understand where the communication gaps are. You even understand, especially, for example, I worked for a while with a nonprofit, and there were a lot of operational gaps. And with operational gaps, what was happening is you couldn't modernize the marketing. You couldn't bring on a media partner because the internal systems, for example, weren't capable of handling that. So it really takes the person on the inside who understands, who lives it, breathes it every day, who can work with somebody on the outside who's coming in and often offering a fresh perspective. They're looking at things in a different way, they're looking at it from different angles. They're also bringing in different areas of expertise, which is often hard for an internal team, especially if you have a small business. When you have a small business, a lot of times you have heavy financial constraints. So you're doing a lot on a very limited budget. And to be able to work with a partner who truly understands what the needs are and who just doesn't deliver something and then they leave. A lot of times, working with an agency partner, once, for example, you go through rebranding, a critical component of rebranding is training your internal staff, and often that's overlooked. And I think that when you have a partner going where you're largely, it's a win-win situation because you have an agency who's not just providing, media, or they're not just providing one-off solutions. They're actually educating the team on how to implement it so that once they leave or once they move on to another client, the brand doesn't just fall apart and you start to see fractures in the brand and inconsistencies, for example.
Amen to that. It's kind of that whole let's teach you how to fish instead of giving
Exactly.
fish. I think you're spot on. Tammy, thank you so much for being on Media Champions today. I hope you'll come back on the program so we can talk even further. I know you're a huge proponent of your business working for you, not you working for your business, which I think is fantastic. And we'll dive into that more next time. That would be awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And if you want to know more about how this works, this world of media and marketing, the subject matter expert is right here at your fingertips. We're going to put you in touch with Tammy. You can find us at dailyadbrief.com. Do come back for more Media Champions. I'm Mary Therese in Atlanta. Make it a great day.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.